Hi guys, Excel Insider welcomes you back to the channel. Today in this episode I will explain about Excel's LET function. This let function is a new addition in Excel 365 and not available for earlier versions of Excel. Guys, let function allows you to define variables inside a formula along with the values of the variables and to perform certain calculations using those variables inside the formula. Guys, you must be thinking what is the use of it. So let me tell you that let function is a very powerful function in Excel by which you can simplify your long complex formulas and allows you to use the name variables in place of using the same nested formula again and again inside a particular function. Guys, in this episode I will explain you the basic concept of let function and explain few examples where you can use this function. Guys, let's quickly understand the syntax of the formula. The first argument is the name of the variable. This can be any name of your choice. Then you need to define the value of that variable. And in the third argument, you need to define the calculation you want to perform with that variable. If you want to define more than one variables, then argument 3 will be the name of the second variable. Then in the fourth argument, you need to define the value of the second variable. And in the fifth argument, you need to define the calculations you want to do with variable 1 and variable 2. Guys, number of arguments inside the formula keeps on increasing according to the number of variables you want to define. But keep in mind that the last argument has to be the calculation, in which you need to define the calculations using all the variables defined in the formula. So guys, let's see the hands-on. Guys, here I will define the simplest let function where I will be having one variable named a and I will perform a sum calculation using the variable equal to let my variable name is a, then comma, the value of the variable is 10, comma, and the calculation I want to perform is a plus 5. Enter. Guys, here you can see that Excel is considering a as 10 and performing a sum function with that. Now I will tell you how you can define two variables equal to let a, the value of a is 5, then comma, my second variable is b, the value of b is 10, then comma, and I want to perform a multiplied by b. Hit enter. Here you can see that a multiplied by b is derived here. Guys, you can also use one variable to define value for the another variable. For example, here equal to let a as 5 and let b as a plus 5, and in the calculation give me a multiplied by b. Press enter. Here you can see that Excel has picked the value of b as a plus 5. Now guys, I will tell you how you can use let function with three variables equal to let my variable name 1 is a, the value is 5, my variable name 2 is b, the value is a plus 10, my variable name 3 is c, the value of c is b multiplied by 2. Then in the calculation I want a multiplied by b plus c. Here I am getting 105 as my value. The calculation steps are defined here. Guys, here the point to be noted is that if you are using one variable for defining the value for the second variable, please make sure that the value of variable 1 has been defined ahead of variable b. Here you can see that I have defined the value of variable b as a plus 10, but for doing that a must have been defined ahead of b. For example, here if I would have been defined a as b plus 5 without defining b, I would have get the name error as the value of b is not defined while using the variable b as the value of variable a. Now guys, I will show how you can practically apply LET function. For that I have sales data where I have sales values and the VAT rate as 20%, and I want to calculate here sales value plus 20%. The formula I can use here is equal to let the name of the variable maybe sales, the value is this, now the variable 2 name VAT, and the value is 20%. Let me freeze the cell, and in the calculation I want sales plus sales multiplied by VAT. Close the bracket and press enter. Here you can see that Excel has calculated the VAT plus sales value. Guys, you must be thinking that why we need to do such a complex calculation. For doing that, we could have calculated in the conventional way, equal to value multiplied by 1.2. Guys, this example was just to explain the concept. Now I will move on to the practical applicability. Please be with me for some time and you will love it. Guys, for example number 1, I have sales data for 2 years, and here I will calculate the difference in the percentage, equal to 2020 minus 2019 divided by 2019. Press enter. Here the difference in sales is calculated. Now guys, I want to assign a status to every line item. The grid is this. Where the sales has increased by more than 20%, I want to assign good. From 20% to minus 20% is okay. And where the sales has decreased by more than 20%, I want to put bad in the status. Guys, if I would have been putting this formula without the let function, I would have been required to repeat these arguments for 3 times. But with the help of the let function, I can define the variable for this function and simplify my formula. The formula I will write here is equal to let, the name of the variable is d, d is for difference. The value of the variable is 2020 minus 2019 divided by 2019. Now the calculation I want to perform using this variable is, if my variable is more than 20%, then give me good. Then check if my variable is more than equal to minus 20%, then give me OK. Then check if my variable is less than minus 20%, then give me bad. Close ifs, close let, and press enter. Here you can see that Excel has categorized all the line items. Now I don't need the difference column, so let me delete it. Now guys, you can create a pivot table or a chart using this field. Guys, for this example I have this data where I have mentioned the salaries of all the employees in a company with the designation, role, and the department. And here I want to calculate the category of every employee based on its salary as compared to the average salary for the same designation in the same department. The formula I will write here is equal to let, the name of the variable is average, and in the value I will calculate the average of salary for a particular department and a particular designation inside the department. For that I will write average ifs function. Average ifs, my average range is this. Freeze, my criteria range 1 is this. Department, freeze, my criteria is this. Then my criteria range 2 is the designation, freeze, and my criteria 2 is this. The calculation I want to perform is, just close the bracket, ifs the salary mentioned in cell E2 is less than or equal to average into 90%, then give me below average. And if the salary mentioned in cell E2 is more than average multiplied by 110%, then give me above average. Close ifs function. Guys, here we have defined two conditions, one for below 90% of average and second is for above 110% of average. Now for the in between range, we will put a if error function ahead of ifs function. If there is any error in the ifs function, then give me within average. Close if error, close let, and press enter. Just fill the formula. Here you can see that the status has been calculated based on these conditions. Now guys, let us check the formula. For that, select finance from here and assistant manager from here. Now calculate average, 90% and 110% here, equal to subtotal 1 comma range, and enter. My average is 52,951. 90% is this. and 110% is this. Now let us compare the results. For this, salary is 48,000 and in between 90 and 110%. So within average is correct. This 64,000 is greater than 58,000. The status above average is correct. And here 27,000 is below 90%. Then below average is also correct. So guys, here you can see that LET function has calculated correct values. Now guys, I will give you a tip. For that, let me copy paste the formula in column G. Now I will go to the edit mode and convert the text values to numerical values. For below average is -1, for above average is +1, and for within average is 0. Press enter, autofill the formula. Now I can apply conditional formatting on these values. For that, go to conditional formatting, icon sets, and I am choosing this set. Now go to conditional formatting again, manage rules, go to the edit mode and check here, show icons only. Hit OK, OK, resize the column. Here you can see that the ugly text has been replaced with the precised icons. Now guys, I will show how you can use let function with dynamic array functions. For this example, I have a start date and an end date here. And in column E, I want to calculate all the weekdays falling in between the dates. The function I will put here is equal to let the variable name maybe dates. Now the value of this variable will be determined by the sequence function. Sequence end date minus start date and +1 to include the start date, comma, I want one column, then comma, my start point will be this, close the sequence function, then comma. Now I will perform a calculation based on the variable. Now I want to filter the weekdays from the range provided by the sequence function. So filter, the array is dates, then comma. Now I will define the condition where the week day from the dates. Here I am selecting 2. Based on this, Saturday and Sunday will be day number 6 and 7. Close the bracket. The value provided by the weekday function should be lower than 6. Close filter, close let and enter. Here Excel has written with the dates in the number format. Let us change the format and select long date. Here you can see that Saturdays and Sundays have been filtered out from the list. If I change the date range, maybe 1st of Jan of 2020 to 31st of March 2020, enter, resize the column. Here you can see that I am getting the weekdays between the date range. Guys, let me show it once again for better explanation. If I want to get the weekends in the date range, equal to let dates, the value of the variable from the sequence function, sequence end date minus start date +1 to include the start date. Then I want one column and my start point will be this, close sequence. Then the calculation part, I want to filter the weekends. So filter, my array is dates, comma, the condition will be determined by the weekday function, weekday from dates, comma, format number 2, close weekday is more than 5, close filter, close let and enter. Now convert the format, home tab, long date. Here you can see Excel has filtered all the Saturdays and Sundays between the date range. Now guys, I will show a bit complex example of let function. Here I have a sales data where I have customer, country, product, size, quantity and value. And here I want to pull up the unique values from countries and products column and determine the values by the SUMIF function. Guys, I will show step-by-step calculation for pulling up the unique records, equal to unique of these columns, enter. Here you can see Excel has pulled up all the unique combinations. My list is spilling to 30 rows, whereas the data is more than 2500 rows. Now I want to sort my list. So sort this list by country first, then by product, close sort and enter. Here my list is sorted. Now I will go to the edit mode and put let function ahead of sort function. Let the name of the variable is sales. The value of the variable is determined by the sort and unique function. Then comma. Now what do I want in return? In return, I want a table of 3 columns where column number 1 is country, column number 2 is product name, and column number 3 is the value determined by the SUMIF function. For that, we will use choose function. Choose. I want 3 columns, 1, 2, and 3. Close the curly bracket, comma. The column number 1 of the table will come from the variable sales. So sales, then comma. Column number 2 will also come from the variable sales, comma. The column number 3 will come from SUMIFs function. So SUMIFs, let me scroll to the left. My sum range is the value, comma. My criteria range 1 is the country. My criteria 1 is the first column of the table determined by the variable sales. To call the first column of the table, I will use index function here. Index sales, leave the row number blank and fetch column number 1. Close index, comma. The range for criteria number 2 is this product name, comma. The criteria number 2 is the second column of the table determined by the variable sales that I can pull up from the index function. Index sales, comma, leave the row number blank and I want second column in return. Close index, close SUMIFs, close choose, close let and press enter. Here you can see I am getting the sum values for unique combinations of country and the product. Guys, let us repeat what we have done in the earlier example once more. This will create better understanding and clarity. Here I have the same data which I have used in the earlier example, and here I want to pull up the sum value for quantity and value for the unique combinations of countries and products. Guys, first I will write a unique formula here equal to unique of these columns. Enter. Go to edit mode, sort it by first by the country, then by the product. Enter. Here my list is sorted. Now I will put let function. So let the name of the variable is say ns, comma. The value of the variable is this. Now in return I want a table for 4 columns. So choose 1, 2, 3, 4. The column number 1 of the table will come from the variable ns. Column number 2 will also come from ns. Column number 3 will be determined by the SUMIF function. SUMIFs. I want to sum the quantities, comma. My criteria range 1 is the country, comma. The criteria 1 will be pulled up by the index function. Index ns, comma. Leave row number blank and get first column back. Close index, comma. My criteria range 2 is my product name, comma. Criteria 2 will be determined by the index function. Index ns, leave the row number blank and fetch second column. Close index, close SUMIFs. Now the fourth column of the table will come from the SUMIFs function. SUMIFs, sum value. The criteria range 1 is the country. The criteria 1 is index ns for column number 1. Criteria range 2 is the product name. The criteria 2 will come from the index ns for column number 2. Close index, close SUMIF, close choose, close let and press enter. Guys, here you can see Excel is giving me back a table of 4 columns as derived by the input conditions. Now we can quickly check it. For that, select the data, go to insert, pivot table and create a pivot table on the same worksheet. Okay, the country, the product name, the quantity and the value. Now go to design mode, report layout, show in tabular form, repeat item labels, and I don't want to see the subtotals. Guys, let me increase the font for better visibility, resize the columns. Guys, here you can see that the result derived by the pivot table and by the let function are same. Guys, while using the let function, please remember that the variables and the values you define for the variables are only valid for the cell in which you are putting the formula. You cannot recall the variable set in one let function in another let function. Guys, here I finish my today's episode. I hope you would have liked it and learned something from it. Guys, I believe the concept of let function and the practical applicability is crystal clear to you now. You can build your own let functions now, and if you face any problem, then please mention it in the comment section. I will try to resolve it. Guys, if you would have liked this episode, then please give a thumbs up and subscribe the channel for more such videos. Guys, now I will take a leave. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye and see you in the next video.